Shit, I forgot. New piercing. Took my hair down and was like, fuck. New piercing. Fuck. Is it alright? Is it alright? Is it alright? Fuck, I forgot. I forgot. I forgot. Fuck. Oops. Hello guys. Today I'm going to tell you about the worst birthday party I've been to in my life. And it wasn't even one I was invited to. Ooh, yep. So, I was invited, well, I wasn't invited. How do I begin this story? How do I begin this story of the worst party ever? And you know what? I thought about telling this story and I thought, dunno. What if they see this and they're like, but then, two thoughts occurred to me. Number one, they don't know me directly. And number two, even if they do see this, today, my little brother told me that he got hit on purpose by the kid who invited him. So now I'm feeling bitter and it's all hands on, you know, like, and also the third fact is, my brother got her a gift and he was like, did you like your birthday present off me? And she went, what birthday present? So, it's war now. You messed with him, you messed with me. But no. Honestly, I want to tell this story. I've told this story in my personal life and everyone I've told has been like, the actual fuck. So I'm going to tell you guys now. Basically, this is the worst birthday party ever. So, for context, this was a birthday party for 7 to 8 year olds. This is very big context. For 7 to 8 year olds. So you'd think kids party, you know, what kind of pops into your head, like junk food and party rings and chicken nuggets and chips and burgers and unhealthy stuff and chocolates and sweets. Which I get, not like every kid likes that, but you'll see why I'm bringing up food in a minute. So, I take my little brother to this birthday party and we arrive, and the way the house is kind of like planned out is you can see into the kitchen and you can see into the front room. So, I can see the adults in the kitchen, the children in the front room. I walk on through, do the civilities of, hi, Triffer, bloody blah blah. Here's the birthday gift. I handed it directly to the mum. And she was like, oh, thank you. And, it was okay at that moment. It was just welcoming in, I guess. The kids were like, oh, are you, my brother's mum, basically? And I was like, no, I'm his sister. So, we all settle in. They tell me to go sit at the back of the living room, basically on one of the chairs, because they had like a row of chairs lined up, and they basically sent me to the back of the room, which I thought, oh, maybe more adults were going to come in or something like that, but no. Hold on, I can hear footsteps. But they basically sent me to the back of the room. This is important because remember, all the adults are in the kitchen, the children are in the front room, and I'm sent to the back of the front room, so I'm thinking maybe more adults are going to come join me in like 2 seconds. Speak of the devil, the brother I took to the party walks in. Anyways, he's gone now. But, I've lost my entire train of thought. Oh yeah, I was sent to the back of the room. This is important for context because remember, adults in the kitchen, children in the front room, and for more context, I am 23 years old. So I am not a child. And for more context, the adults at the party were older than me by quite a few years. But still, I am not a child. I am 23 years old, you know? So anyways, they sent me to the back of the room. I'm like, cool. Thinking more people would come and sit next to me because there was more chairs. No. they all just were in the kitchen and I was in the front room, which is whatever, fine. So I was watching my brother, because I was in the room with the kids, and the mum and the grandma come into the front room, because remember all the adults were in the kitchen, and they start setting up these party games, right? But they were the shittest party games I have ever fucking heard of, especially for children, right? Shit. Without being too brutal, nah, fuck it, brutal, they were shit. So, she pulls out these laminated bananas, because it's supposed to be like Minions themed, basically, and she makes the kids balance these bananas on them, and do different actions with the laminated bananas, and if they drop them like once, they're out. So my brother spent the majority of the party out, which is just sat by the fucking wall. And you'd think if the kids were out of the game and the game was going to go on for a while that they were allowed to play or talk. No, just sit in silence, child, you lost, was basically the vibe. Every time a kid would try and like play or run around or be a kid, they would basically tell them to cut it out. It was terrible. Anyway, so laminated banana game that went on for years, it felt like, and my poor brother was just sat out, and a bunch of kids were sat out, you know, which is a bit boring. And then, but okay, points for creativity, I guess. Then, there was another party game, and you'd think, oh, maybe that was just a warm-up or some shit. The next party game was mixing disgusting food combinations together and making the children eat them. And my brother literally went to the back of the room. He was like, screw that. I'm not being funny, but they are children. They are children, and you are making them eat disgusting food on purpose as a game, which could be fun, I guess. But also, like, what? Have they not thought to think about, like, children with, like, you know, fussy about food? My brother is fussy about food. He already struggles with food anyways. And now you're trying to make him eat some disgusting combination? What? Anyways, so the next game was that, basically. Making children eat disgusting food. Well done. Next was the only normal game, Pass the Parcel. But it was so tightly wrapped that as they were going round with the Pass the Parcel to classical music, might I add. This is a children's party and they're playing classical music. Why, I don't know. But it was so tightly wrapped, the children were like struggling to unravel the layers. And the only time these adults other adults really spoke to me was to tell me to move out the way for one of the party games, and also to say, oh, maybe you can keep an eye on them when the Pass the Parcel was going round. That's it. They also did food, but it was peppers on pizza. And I'm not even kidding you, even their own children was like, this is disgusting, I don't want to eat this. And their attitude was, just pick off the peppers then. And the kids were like, are there not any plain ones? Like, are there not any other flavours? They just brought out, like, 2 peppers on pizzas. They're children. What are you doing? And it'd be understandable if, like, for example, because it's their kid's birthday party, their kid loved that pizza, right? It was their favourite. No, their own kid was like, this is disgusting. So what are you doing? Or even if you were trying to get them to eat something kind of healthy, have a backup option. And it was dry tortilla chips in a saucepan. That was the other food option. And some breadsticks. That was it. And they didn't put the crisps in a bowl, the tortilla chips in a bowl. They put them in a saucepan. Sure, I guess. It was just... The thing that annoyed me the most was their attitude as well. Like, the kids would be like, I don't want to eat this, this is disgusting. And they'd be like, pick it off then. Maybe don't put it on the pizza in the first place. just a suggestion, or have a backup option. Don't do that. Plus, kids really play with their food. Why are you encouraging that? Like, making them make a mess and pick all this pepper off when you could have just done better, I guess, you know? You could have done better. But, whatever, right? And then the drinks options were even worse. The drinks options were fizzy banana water in a can, or strawberry milkshake, which is the only normal option they had, or water. That was it. And they offered everyone else a drink, by the way. They offered the kids a drink, the adults had a drink. Not me! Not me. Not once did they offer me even a water, or a fizzy banana water, which I would not have fucking drank anyways, but still, not even the offer of, oh, are you thirsty, would you like a drink? No, just left me at the back of the room, didn't say, like, really 2 words to me, minus move and watch the kids, which was really fucking rude. Yeah, to be honest, really rude. So they offered everyone a drink but me. And you might be wondering, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you say something? I have crippling social anxiety, for one. And 2, I'm at a children's birthday party. The last thing I want is to get into a domestic over a cup of water. Do you get what I mean? And also, I don't like water, but the whole point is they didn't know that. They could have offered me a drink. The principle of it was, they didn't offer me one. Even if I said no, you asked everybody else in the room, why not me? And I genuinely think it's because I was the young adult in the room. I genuinely think that was it. Which is so unfair. Or maybe the fact that I was the sister and not a mum, which is also unfair because I'm there as, like, the adult supervision for my brother. You know? I should still be treated with some kind of fucking respect, but apparently not. Not even respect, just treating me like my age group. I kind of felt like the naughty kid in the corner, just sent to the back of the room, out the fucking way. So that was fun. Yeah, they wouldn't let the kids play. They just kept telling them off when they would jump around. Everything had to be to the letter. Their other party game was like numbers to colours. I don't know how to explain it. They had a name for it. I can't remember what it was called though. But it was terrible because they're kids. Why are you making them colour in order and like have these weird rules? And it was just weird. They started calling her Miss at one point because she had this teacher voice on, the mum did. And she was, is it okay, they can call me Miss? And I was just thinking, oh, shut up. You're enjoying this power way too much, you know? I know I sound bitter. It's because I am. Because, like, it was the worst. It was the worst party I've ever witnessed in my life, especially for children. It was so controlled and so stilted and so, like, not right. If you're gonna have a kids party, get some, like, actual party food, or at least party food that your kid likes, for God's sake. They did this thing where they got out like a hat and these glasses and made the kid wear it, which is fair enough. It's apparently a family tradition. I'm like, okay, cool. But it was just so weird. Everything was so weird and out of place. The food and the drinks were weird. Like, everyone I spoke to about this said, why not a jug of squash? Squash exists. Yeah. The food was terrible, as established. It's not even like, I could understand it if their own kid likes it, but even then have a backup, please, because not every kid wants to eat. What kid likes vegetables, for a start? And if they do like vegetables, like I liked vegetables as a kid, but I guarantee you most kids are fussy and pick off the food, you know? It was just the weirdest party ever. this was supposed to be like a fun, light-hearted, like, oh, the worst party ever story. But the more I think about it, the more annoyed I get. Especially after today, when my brother comes home from school and he's been hit in the face by the birthday girl, who cried a lot, might I add, which I get, she's 7, but she kept crying over someone took my dry tortilla chips, and someone ate too many breadsticks. I get it, it's her birthday, she can do what she wants, but like, I draw the line when my brother goes to school and he comes back and he literally has a purple thing on his gum where he's been hit in the face by this birthday girl. Hit him in the face today on purpose. After he came to her party, hit him in the fucking face. And when asked, do you like your birthday present? That my family took a lot of time and effort to get Minion themed, you know, it was a Minion themed cushion. He went, did you like your Minion cushion? And she went, what pillow? What? So, you're telling me that my brother goes to your party, gives you a gift, and you punch him in the face? What the hell? Also, it's giving me rude vibes overall, because they literally iced me out at the birthday party. The adults iced me out so hard. So I'm like, I wonder where they get that terrible manners from, and where they get this horrible attitude from. I wonder. The only adults that really spoke to me, actually, was when one of them went out for a vape break. So I bolted into the garden as well for like some way out of there, some air. And the other parent that was there, he was nice, and he finally spoke to me because he wasn't in the kitchen, because he was allowed in the kitchen, and apparently I just had to sit on a chair by myself. Oh, and I picked up rubbish for them, because they did pass the parcel and left the rubbish everywhere, so I did the polite thing and picked up the parcel, and I went, where can I put this for you? And the dad literally looked at me and went, in the bin. Well, obviously, but I don't know where your fucking bin is, mate. I don't live in your house. Fuck. So, I had to squish it into this tiny bin. Which is fine, but it's just like, in the bin. Well, clearly, but I don't know where your bin is. I've been sentenced to the corner the entire party. I don't know the layout of your house. It was just so terrible, honestly. If they ever do see this, to be honest, whatever, like, it's not my fault your party sucked, you know? It's not my fault you were rude to me as well. It's not my fault that your kid has no manners and punched my brother in the face. So, sorry, not sorry, to be honest. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I just feel kind of fed up thinking about it, to be honest. Yeah, it was a fun story to tell the other day, because I had to go to work afterwards, and I told my co-workers, like, oh, this terrible party, and they were all like, what the hell? And, like, it was funny and a laugh. And then I come home today, and my brother's like, I've been punched in the face, and I'm like, what? Oh, and also she didn't even acknowledge her birthday gift. What? Like, okay, be rude to me all you fucking want, fine, but don't be rude to my brother. And also, another thing that annoyed me was, we apparently arrived late, even though the invitation said 11:30, right? So we arrive, and they've already started making these stitching cardboard things. The only probably decent thing they did at that party. And my brother was like, oh, can I make one? And they were like, you were late, sorry, can't. Even if he was late, let him stitch it, for God's sake. Is it really going to hurt you? They gave him it to take home and do, which is fair enough, but I still thought that was really mean to not let him do it at the party. especially because his friend was like, oh, I'll help him, and it could have been a fun thing for everyone, like, because, you know, that game was over, and it was the only probably decent game, minus Impossible Pass of the Parcel. It could have been fun for them to rehash the sewing. Also, why sewing? They are 7 and 8. Why are you giving them needles? But still, yeah, I don't know. It just really sucks. It was the shittest party I've ever witnessed and technically been to, even though technically it wasn't me invited, it was my sibling, but I was the adult supervision, so technically, yeah, the shittest party I've ever been to in my life, especially for a kids' party. What kind of kids' party is that? What the hell? So yeah, that's my little story. If any of them ever see this. Look, thank you for the invite, I guess, but do better. Yeah, that's my little story. Anyways, I'm gonna go, because I'm tired and I got maths soon, and I'm gonna play some video games, probably. Before maths. Bye.